Welcome to Daily Overdose.
It's been tough. It's been hard. I've had those days where I just said, I can't take it anymore. I had those days where I cried out. I didn't think no one was listening. Boy, it's been tough. It's been so tough. But I'm still here. I'm still breathing. I'm still fighting. But most importantly, I'm still learning. I'm learning through the hardship. I'm learning through the tough time. I'm learning through the losses. I'm learning because that's what life is about. Do we fall down and stay down, or do we lift each other up and carry on? That is what we do. This is who we are. We are all students of life. So never forget, no matter how much you think you know, you never know enough. Because if you're living, you're learning. Remember that. You're living, you're learning. You're learning, you're growing. Through the good times and the bad times. You're learning something unique and special about you every day of your life. And that's what makes it special. I'm learning. You're probably thinking that this ain't got nothing to do with me. It's got everything to do with you. Because maybe you got the right things happening right now for you. But to your right, that guy over there, he ain't living so well. But you're learning something. Because if the tables were turned, could you deal with it? Could you handle that stress? Could you handle that poverty? How long have you been homeless? How long have you been hungry? How long have you not had clothes on your back? How long have you been out of a job? Did your family walk out on you? Did your father walk out on you? Did your mother walk out on you? Are you going through a bad relationship? Have you lost your way? This is what you're learning right now. Sometimes we all got to learn the hard way. How many times as a child you heard your mother and father tell you not to do something, but you did it anyway? And you had to learn the hard way. It wasn't the fact that you got disciplined perhaps by your parents, but the world disciplines you more. That's what makes it beautiful. The hard times sometimes can be the best times. Why? Because you're gonna build up something. You're gonna build up that grit. You're gonna build up that tenacity. You're gonna have a better understanding. But you gotta know what direction you're going, and sometimes you may not even know. Sometimes people hate to be wrong because they feel that they're always right. Sometimes you got to learn how to listen and not always speak out and thinking that you know so much. Because you're gonna learn the hard way that you're just not that smart. You don't have all the answers. But just people. Walk outside your door. Driving your vehicle up and down the road, you will see how much you can really learn just from people. And some people are going through some significant problems right now, more difficult than you could ever imagine. You think you got it tough? You have no idea what that other person got going on. This is how we learn. This is how we grow. This is how we build. Yes, you're gonna go through those challenges. Yes, you're gonna go through some tough times in your life. But like I always say, when it gets tough, you get tough. Kill the excuses. Kill the weakness. And learn something about yourself. Learn that you're not that great, but you're great enough to learn something new every day. And you must learn to humble yourself. Yes, there are people in the world that will literally glorify themselves. as if they were God Almighty Himself. But you got to understand, you didn't make the world. You were born in it. And eventually you will die in it. But when you're walking this earth, when you're living in this world, understand that you're learning because you're living. Maybe I just don't have all the answers. Maybe you should change a little bit. Maybe you need to understand that everything is not going to always go the way you think it should go. If the world was so perfect, we wouldn't be in the position that we are in right now. But it is not the world's fault. It's the people that are living in it. And you, my friend, are a part of it. I am a part of it. And the decisions that we make, the way we think of ourselves, the way we think of our brothers and sisters, will be the true outcome of where we are as a people. So maybe all of these bad things that we are experiencing in our lives is because it must happen. But we are learning, believe me, we are learning. But we're growing. Maybe some people don't realize the importance of hardship. Maybe some people don't realize that it's okay to go through those hard times. That's what you're learning right now. This is what's going to help you to understand what type of a difference you can make as an individual, as a human being, as a mother, as a father. What do you do? How can you continue on your life not realizing that we are all learning? So yes, maybe you think you're awesome. There's nothing wrong with confidence. There's nothing wrong with believing in yourself. So when I say it again, I say it with conviction. None of us are that great. We are searching for greatness. And that's a long, 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 long journey. But we can do it together. Instead of tearing down, let's build up. Don't tear it down, build it up. Build the bridge. Cross the bridge with me. Let me cross the bridge with you. Let's learn together through the good and the bad. The hard times are gonna come, but we're gonna stand, we're gonna fight, we're gonna push, we're gonna work, we're gonna give it everything we got, because here we are, right now, in this world. Do we fall down and stay down, or do we lift each other up and carry on? That is what we do. This is who we are. We are all students of life. If you're breathing, you're learning. If you're learning, you're living. So carry on the good fight, my beautiful people. Stay productive, stay strong, keep it moving, and from the bottom of my heart, conduct your business.
Life is not always easy. There are times when it feels like everything is going against us. When we face obstacles that seem insurmountable, and when we feel like giving up.
This is harder than I thought. Hard? That must mean it's bad. No. Every time you face disappointment, you face heartache, you face defeat, you face setbacks, it's preparing you for what this world has in store for you.
It is the test that creates credibility. It is the test that creates trust. So if you're going through a bankruptcy moment, that's your test of being trusted. In other words, you never think that a crisis comes to conclude your life. It comes to give credibility to your life. What you're going through is going to give you the respect of other people observing you. There are people who are praying that you fail, and then they'll trust you when you don't. They hope you won't make it, and when you make it, they congratulate you. Don't listen to the naysayers. Accept the test as part of you becoming a successful person. Successful people are always survival testimonies. They weren't born successful. Success is a result of going through a furnace, sleeping with lions, being torn apart, being ripped apart, being criticized and attacked. Success is what people think of you after they try to kill you.
Life gonna whip your butt. Life is gonna bully you. Stop whining. Stop crying. Nobody cares. Be demanding. Let it hit you, but don't let it punk you.
This is not an opposition. This is an opportunity.
I don't care if you've been beaten to the floor, if your legs are too tired to lift that weight. Break through that barrier and create new ones for you and for others to show off. Get back up and live life.
If I really work hard and use my mind and I get creative, there's something out there that I haven't discovered. There's always an answer.
You can do more than you think you can do. You can have more than you think you can have.
The possibilities for you are unlimited. If you're coming back from adversity and devastation, it's unlimited of what you can do.
There's no guarantee that because somebody is now down on their luck, they can never come back. Who can guarantee that you can't make? No one can do that. You don't know what the possibilities are for your life.
You want your stuff? It's necessary you take responsibility for it. That you make it happen, that you don't give up, that you don't take any objection or disappointment or defeats personally, that you keep on keeping on, that you don't decide that I can't make it because you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that you realize that's a part of the program. That's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet.
I have never met anybody who became incredibly successful until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass. There's something that you could do that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody because we got you. You are the one.
Remember then, that if you think the things which are by nature slavish to be free, and the things which are in the power of others to be your own, you will be hindered, you will lament, you will be disturbed, you will blame both gods and men. But if you think that only which is your own to be your own, and if you think that what is another's as it really is belongs to another, no man will ever compel you, no man will hinder you. You will never blame any man. You will accuse no man. You will do nothing involuntarily, against your will. No man will harm you. You will have no enemy, for you will not suffer any harm. Now is the time to get serious about living your ideals. How long can you afford to put off who you really want to be? Your nobler self cannot wait any longer. Put your principles into practice. Now, stop the excuses and the procrastination. This is your life. You aren't a child anymore. The sooner you set yourself to your spiritual program, the happier you will be. The longer you wait, the more you'll be vulnerable to mediocrity and feel filled with shame and regret, because you know you are capable of better. From this instant on, vow to stop disappointing yourself. Separate yourself from the mob. Decide to be extraordinary and do what you need to do. Now, never depend on the admiration of others. There is no strength in it. Personal merit cannot be derived from an external source. It is not to be found in your personal associations, nor can it be found in the regard of other people. It is a fact of life that other people, even people who love you, will not necessarily agree with your ideas, understand you, or share your enthusiasms. Grow up. Who cares what other people think about you? Caretake this moment. Immerse yourself in its particulars. Respond to this person, this challenge, this deed. Quit the evasions. Stop giving yourself needless trouble. It is time to really live, to fully inhabit the situation you happen to be in now. You are not some disinterested bystander. Participate in it. Exert yourself.
It was Benjamin Disraeli. He says, nothing can resist the will of a people that will stake even their existence on the extent of their purpose for good.
that when you dedicate your life to something, you bring on some powers in the universe that works through you to bring about changes that you would never ever know unless you have dedicated yourself. I'm reminded of a young guy who was on a bus, a little young fellow, and some kids were picking at him, some bigger guys, and they kept on thumping him on the head and hiding their hands. And so he got tired of them doing that, and he stood up so he would not be around them, out of their reach. And they took him and said, sit down. They set him down. And he stood back up and said, I don't want to sit down. They said, sit down. Didn't we tell you? And they pushed him back down. I don't want to sit down. They said, sit down. And they held him down. And he looked at him. He said, you might hold me down, but I'm standing up inside myself. And what we have got to do is know that there's something about you. There's something about us. There's a power in you that regardless of what happens to you, you can stand up inside of yourself. I think that's what the poet meant when he says, out of the night that covers me, black as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods there may be for my unconquerable soul. You have an unconquerable soul. Something that George Bernard Shaw said that I think has some power for us. I'd like to share it with you. He said, this is the true joy in life. And one of the things that he said, and I loved when he talked about man and Superman, he said that we should establish a tribunal where people would be required to come once a year to give a reason why they should be permitted to go on living for the next year. Can you imagine all the do-nothings hopping from one foot to the other trying to give some justification why they should be allowed to live for the next year? Well, what do you do? I drank a little bit. What are you contributing to life? I go to work every day. No, are you making a difference in the universe? Why should we allow you to continue to occupy this space? Can I come back to that one? This is a true joy in life. The being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. Being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I am of the opinion, George Bernard Shaw goes on to say, that my life belongs to the whole community. And as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. I want to be thoroughly used up when I die. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle for me. It is a sort of splendid torch which I've got a hold of for the moment. And I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations.